well, you guys have only lost 2 games since you played UCLA. Was that series, do you look back on it now and say maybe there was a change of mindset coming out of that one or anything for the team?
It's tough to say. We knew there was a lot of season left. We were, as I said at the beginning of the season, after the first 3 weeks, we played Washington, UCLA, and we all played each other. And I had a feeling we'd beat each other up a little bit. But the key for us was that sweep up at Washington. Showed we could play with the best in the conference. And then, at UCLA, new field here, Jenna was out. There's a few other things. You can make all the excuses you want, but they just simply outplayed us that weekend. But since that time, we've been doing a much better job defensively. Sheridan Hawkins is pitching much better, and we're getting some timely hits.
Yeah, not to take anything away from the way they played, but do you look back at that as kind of a funky weekend for your program?
Yeah, it really was. I look back at some of the tape, and we just didn't seem to be ourselves. I mean, we were letting a lot of pitches go down the middle. We were swinging at bad pitches. We were making, 6 errors in the one game we won. I mean, it was just a crazy, funky one. But there's a lot of things we learned from that as well. And one is that we can't play poorly and expect to beat one of the best teams in the country.
How much do you think it's going to help that you have Jenna Lilly back here in this series?
Well, she's just a consistent force in the infield. Between her and Udrea and Linville at second now, they've got a pretty good mojo going. Even Decker at first base. So I feel like they're real comfortable with each other. And having her back up there, everybody feel a little more comfortable. And at the top of the lineup, she's starting to really kind of own that position right now. She got 3 hits last weekend in the final, and doing a good job of getting on base for us, and it's kind of, and Alyssa Gillespie moving her down to the bottom has really helped out as well. So may have found that kind of combination that's kind of clicking.
Does Jenna need to adjust her approach much to hitting that spot?
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe she may have been just a little too tentative at the lead-off position. One of the reasons I called a hit and run with her was to get her to swing the bat a little bit. But that's her job, is to get on base any way she can, and she's looking for certain pitches and being patient. So I can't fault that.
But you still want to take advantage of that bat, so you want to encourage her to still be aggressive.
I know she can hit. I've seen her hit, and we do want her to swing the bats every now and then, especially when we have somebody on ahead of her like Gillespie who can run. So yeah, we definitely want her to swing the bat.
Not that you need any extra juices for Super Regional, but is it nice that you don't need to maybe come up with any bulletin board material since they have that series back there to look on?
Oh yeah, I mean, and they knocked us out of the World Series last year decisively too. I mean, they've always been a good club in their history, and when you say they're struggling, they're still getting 40 wins. So they're a very, very good team. They have been for a long time. They have 5-star recruits up and down the lineup. They're deep in all areas, and but what I'm looking forward to is just going to be a fun series. I think it's a good matchup. The 2 best teams in the Pac-12. Other than maybe Washington, Arizona are there as well. But, we know each other. There's no secrets. So it should be a knockdown, drag-out series.
At what point do you leave a voicemail with the NCAA asking why these 2 teams are playing this round?
Well, I know that wouldn't get answered, so there's no point bringing that up. But, it is what it is. And if you want to win the thing, you have to beat everybody anyway. And so, maybe getting them now could be a good thing. We don't know. Only time will tell.
Alyssa, after the regional hitter approach, didn't change at all at the plate. What did you see from her that made her so effective over those 3 games?
She was just starting to slow the game down a little bit. It wasn't so much, she wasn't having to get on base, and she could see 8 other hitters come up to the plate and maybe see what the pitcher had. Just a little more knowledge and put her in more of a comfort level. I think sometimes we start to speed the game up, and that's the biggest issue. When people are slumping, they start thinking too much. And not that she was slumping, but I just thought just changing it up and see if we can get something else going.
When you recruited her out of Hillsboro, is this kind of what you expected, or has she developed year by year into the player she is?
No, when I recruited her, I saw an athlete that had all the tools. At that time she had a strong arm before her surgery, and she's gradually got that back now. But she had pop in her bat. She always found a way on base, and that was the thing. Was you say that kid looks a little different, but at the end of the day, you look at the stats and she's on base all the time. And that's what I wanted. I wanted somebody that could get on base. She's athletic. She's got all those tools that we need.
Do you like the added days of not playing until Saturday?
Well, yes and no. It's like sometimes you want to get going, you're antsy, you're going to be the last team, and so if you do qualify, you get a lot of hard work to do, in a short amount of time. But it does give us more time to prepare for UCLA, and first things first, we've got to make sure we get as much information as we can on UCLA and be prepared to go.
You guys haven't lost with Sheridan pitching since the UCLA series, or is Sheridan going to be pitching on Saturday?
More than likely, yes. Unless I see something different. But Sheridan has got us this far over the last 3-4 years, and she deserves to start, you know. And but you know, we will have a short hook. You know, I'm not going to wait out there and do what I did last time and let it get out of hand. I'll have everybody on deck to try and win this first game.
As far as you come away from a regional where you didn't have much tape on a team like Fordham, now you probably have too much tape on a team like UCLA. How do you prevent over-analysis?
Yeah, analysis by paralysis. That's always a danger, you know. Sometimes you get too much, and you know, you can have the best plans in the world. We know what some of the weaknesses are, but if we can't execute the plan, it doesn't do us much good. And really, it comes down to that execution by our pitchers, and then defensively, we've got to make sure we don't give them extra outs. You know, with the errors and everything else, we've got to stay away from that as much as we can. They have very dangerous hitters, especially in the middle of the order there. You know, with Spalding, Jelinek, Sadaraka, you know, the list goes on, and they'll make you pay if you make mistakes.
Getting the big hitters on and then throwing some pinch runners out there, is that the new formula that you've discovered this postseason?
Well, yeah, it is. You know, obviously I can only do it once before I have to take somebody out, but now I do have 3 or 4 kids that can run a little bit, and I've got to pick my time. You obviously don't want to do it too soon, you know, because then you're kind of burnt, you're stuck for the rest of the game. But try and stay out of the double play as much as we can, you know, because that kind of hurt us a little bit in the Utah series. We had 4 double plays in one game, for example. So we know that's kind of our Achilles heel, so we need to try and use those pinch runners to kind of stay away from that.